Heisman winner Cam Newton is no stranger to NCAA investigations. His pay-for-play allegations dogged him while he was at Auburn, and Newton says he's spoken to Johnny Manziel, who is also under investigation. Newton didn't give specifics, but he did say this about Manziel. He has to go through these types of situations to know how to handle them in the future. When somebody comes up to you and asks you for an autograph, you don't know if they're going to do it for good or bad. Stephen A., should Johnny Manziel listen to Cam Newton?
Well, I think he should, simply because not just the fact that Cam Newton is a Heisman Trophy winner, he won a national championship. Obviously, he was being investigated by the NCAA for pay-for-play allegations. We all know the kind of scrutiny he was under, so there's a lot of advice that he could give because the circumstances are relatively similar, to say the least. But in the end, you know, if you're Johnny Manziel, that's somebody that you hope can resonate and have an effect on you, because if you're Cam Newton, you've gone through this before. You're in the same ballpark in terms of age, same generation. Your experiences are almost identical because the people watching over you, the kind of scrutiny that you're experiencing. Cam Newton is an expert on all of that stuff, and Cam Newton seems to have gotten out of it just fine and is handling himself appropriately. And I think that it's a good thing for Cam Newton to reach out and try to assist him. But I also think that it's time that Johnny Football gets the message. There are a plethora of players on the professional level that have tried to assist him and given him words of advice and counsel or what have you. And now you've got a former Heisman Trophy winner and national champion who was under similar scrutiny doing the same thing for you. I don't see how you can't listen. I don't see how this could possibly be bad for Johnny Football. And I just hope that he takes the advice of Cam Newton, because Cam Newton is not a dummy. Cam Newton is an intelligent young brother. And so I just think that you consider his experiences along with some things that he thinks he may have done differently. If he can espouse those words of wisdom upon Johnny Football, I think it's a good thing. I don't think there's anything bad that could come from it.
Okay, I agree with your assessment of Cam. We had him here in studio. Bright young man. I'm not sure where you're going with this about what advice Cam could give Johnny, because Cam went through an investigation. Help me out. Are you saying that Cam can help Johnny stay one step ahead of the NCAA law? Surely you're not going there.
No, well, I certainly was not trying to imply that. I was simply talking about we haven't just been talking about these allegations. We've been talking about all the things that Johnny Football has done to assist the level of heightened scrutiny that has come his way. And I think at some point in time, what's done is done. There's nothing you can do about that. Now it's about the NCAA, it's about Texas A&M, it's about lawyers, etc. But from this point forward, if you're Johnny Football and you're trying to move forward in a way that can help alleviate some of the stress that you have repeatedly complained about since your popularity soared to new heights, if there's an individual that can help him in that regard, it's Cam Newton. I'm certainly not trying to imply that Cam Newton can help him by skirting the law or something like that. I would never say something so irresponsible.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure, because remember what Cam and his father went through. His father admitted to seeking money while Cam was being recruited out of Blinn Junior College to choose another SEC school, because he started at Florida, you remember? And it was a little bit of a surprise he chose Auburn. Okay, and remember... Go ahead.
Go ahead. Good. No, I was just saying I do remember. The only difference, the reason why, maybe I'm wrong here, but the reason why I never held but so much against Cam Newton as it pertained to money, because number one, supposedly it went to his father, but number two, and more importantly, it was his father. What is he supposed to do? Dime out his father? You see what I'm saying?
Fine.
I mean, I can't look at a kid and hold that against that.
Okay,
right.
I get it, but just me, at that point in time, it was hard not to leap to the conclusion that if a lot of schools were offering money to the father, that Auburn hadn't offered anything to the father, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, Cam and his father had chosen Auburn. So that's all water under the bridge. Leave that be. My point is, back to Johnny, for Cam to say, oh, you got to watch who's getting your autograph because it can be good or it can be bad. I mean, today that comes off as superficial and simplistic, and it's laughable because, wait a second, Cam, we now have pictures and video of 3 different autograph brokers in 3 different cities who can prove, they say, that Johnny sat down and signed for them for money. Well, come on, Cam. I mean, now we've left all that stuff behind about you got to watch who's asking for your autograph. Okay. Look, here's my bottom line on Johnny, knowing him the little that I do. You know him a little. I don't think he's listening to anybody. Much bigger stars than Cam Newton have tried to talk some sense into Johnny football. And I believe he has rejected all of it because Johnny thinks that he knows just about everything he needs to know right now. Johnny is being Johnny off and on the field. So off the field, it's going to get him in big trouble. I think it's going to get him suspended for the rest of his college career. So I'm not sure how Cam can really help him in ways that bigger stars have failed to help him.
Probably right, but there should never be a shortage of effort with somebody so young, with so much promise and so much potential to do so much good. You know, and so if whether Johnny football receives it or not, Cam Newton still has, to some degree, some sort of an obligation as a former Heisman Trophy winner and a national champion. That's and somebody that started in professional football. If you can extend a helping hand, to try and extend a helping hand. I mean, to each one teach one. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. And I think that we should be cognizant of that. And, you know, we would certainly malign dudes when they do something wrong. Cam Newton was under no obligation to extend words of wisdom or espouse, wise words upon Johnny football. He elected to do that of his own heart, mind, and soul. And I think if we're going to sit here and condemn athletes when they don't do something, we should applaud them when they do something good. And in this case, I think Cam Newton did something good.
Okay, last quick point. I know for a fact that another former Heisman winner, we're going back a ways, Doug Flutie, obviously was sort of Johnny football before Johnny football, the little guy who nobody could get on the ground because he was so quick in the pocket.
Right.
I know for a fact Doug Flutie, starting with the Heisman ceremony day and night, has tried to click with Johnny, tried to advise him, tried to help him. And there's another one. I have great respect for Doug. We've had him on the show. You would think that Johnny would listen to Doug. I don't think so. I think ears closed.
But let's be clear. That's a generational thing. You got a lot of guys. I mean, I run across in all my years of covering professional sports, there are so many wise elder statesmen of the game. Guys who have been there, who have done it, who have accomplished great deals. But you know something, Skip? The younger generation, they just don't resonate with those guys. And those guys don't generate with the with the younger generation.
Yep.
And because they're older, they're beyond their prime. You know who are the kind of individuals that transcend generations and have a transcendent impact? You know, guys who had a social conscience and were not afraid to address issues that transcended the sport. It's a reason why you could walk in any room today in an NFL, and let me tell you something. Dudes stand up at attention when Jim Brown walks into that room.
I agree.
You know why? Because he's Jim Brown.
Okay.
And you were just like you remembered him playing football, you remembered him standing with Ali and with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Russell and those boys in support of Ali when he went and served in the Vietnam War, et cetera, et cetera. You look at Ali today. He's deified. Why? Because he was willing to take a stance. Those are transcendent figures. Outside of that, it's a generation-to-generation thing with these athletes.
I guess so, but trust me, when Michael Jordan was a younger player, when Bill Russell spoke, that Michael Jordan listened, and he took it to heart.
Because Bill Russell was a transcendent figure because you knew what issues he was willing to fight. That's what I'm trying to say. And Michael Jordan, in his own way, even though he wasn't so outspoken, he was a transcendent figure because of the impact he had on the game, not just as his brand, his popularity, but how he transformed into a businessman. Those things are relevant, too.
Gentlemen, let's go.